Music. I didn't catch on at first until I heard. Oh, I,
What the freak?
let me get through this. Two big game sixes, winner go homes for both the number one seeds in each conference, and one went home.
Buffalo, baby.
Wow. Let's talk about that Jazz Clippers game. Man, what a game. I, I I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start. Well, like I was saying, I was interested by some badass kids. Um, yeah, I Jazz and Clippers. I don't know where to start. I really don't know where to start. Well, let's. I guess we can start go a little bit by quarter. I guess. Um, I still can't believe it. I still can't believe what I watched. But first quarter, yeah, man,
What a man, what a man, what a man, what a gotta good man.
from the first quarter, Terrence Mann stepped up big time for this Clippers team in that first quarter. And you can see that role players, he was going to step up and he was going to have himself a good game. We didn't know how well that he was going to play, though. We found that out towards the end.
Yeah.
But you could tell that, yeah, he was going to have himself a good night. He's going to help this team, everything in his power to get them to advance. Paul George was struggling a little bit, particularly in that first half. Donovan Mitchell wasn't, though.
Yeah.
He was playing like Donovan Mitchell. Also, Mike Conley was back, but he wasn't really doing much. First game back.
Yeah.
Playing injured, rust. So, yeah, he didn't have the best of games. But Donovan Mitchell played great on one leg. Second quarter. Yeah, sixth man of the year. Jordan Clarkson just took over. In that second quarter. Dominant. I mean, every shot that he took, he made it. Like, it was just ridiculous from every spot on the court. Threes, finishing, mid-range shots, post-ups. I mean, it was just ridiculous. It was ridiculous. He had 21 in that second quarter. 21 in that second quarter. And Donovan Mitchell joined them as well. He was lighting them up as well. And, yeah, it wasn't looking good for the Clippers. It was not looking good for the Clippers whatsoever. Third quarter hit, and it continued. I mean, it started off with Donovan Mitchell from damn near half court, just pulled it on two people.
Yeah.
And the Jazz were up by 25. 25. Utah Jazz were up by 25. And then something changed a bit. Yeah, slowly but surely, Jazz, the Clippers are trying to fight back into this game. Slowly but surely, slowly but methodical. Terrence Mann, three. The Jazz, they were still hitting their shots, But then it got to a point they was at 90 points with like 5 minutes left in that third quarter, which is ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
But they stayed at 90 for a long time in that third quarter.
Yeah.
The Clippers, and give credit to Tyronn Lue, as what everybody is saying, they turned the Jazz greatest strength defensively to their greatest weakness. They made Rudy Gobert obsolete defensively. Defensive player of the year. He's defensive player of the year for his post presence. So okay, just don't go on the post. Stay on the perimeter. If he's guarding you, you gotta create space. Just penetrate and kick it out. Kick it out to his man. Because he's gotta be in the paint. And that's what happened. And that's how Terrence Mann went off. Because Rudy Gobert was guarding Terrence Mann, and Terrence Mann was always open because Rudy Gobert was always patrolling the paint.
Yeah.
So it was just Terrence Mann in the corner. Got it. 3, bang. Just do it again. Paul George, go in the paint. Patrick Beverly, go in the paint. Reggie Jackson, go in the paint. Kick it out to Terrence Mann because he's going to be open because Rudy Gobert is in the paint and he's too slow to catch up.
Yeah.
3, bang.
Yep. Well, you brought up somebody's name there. Of course, that we got to. All I got to say is this: "So my niggas free me, yo. Somewhere free me, yo. Tell my niggas spread the thing up. Go that body, we got my son. I be spread away crazy in the fourth quarter, man.
But yeah, let's hold. We're not there. We're not there. But the Jazz went cold offensively. Mm-hmm. Live by the 3, die by the 3. 3-point shot wasn't falling. Took Donovan Mitchell out the game. No offense was being produced. Defensively, Rudy Gobert was a liability because he can't guard the perimeter. All season, he's been told to guard the paint, control the paint. That's what their defensive system relies on. So it can't just change for him instantly. So all the time, it was Terrence Mann just wide open, and he was making them pay. He was making them pay every time he got the ball. Slowly but surely, 25-point lead turned to 18, then turned 14, 12, 10, 7. It was ridiculous what was going on. And then, now the other guy's going. Reggie Jackson, like you mentioned. He's there. Patrick Beverly, he's there. Paul George, playoff P, he's there. Next thing is, they're down by 3 heading into the fourth quarter. And it did not stop. Mm-hmm. Nick Batum came along. It was whoever Rudy Gobert was guarding, it was an open 3. Yep. They were having a field day from deep. Yeah. And the Jazz, offensively, they couldn't do anything. They went cold. And then the Clippers, they got the lead. Coming back 25 points in a playoff game. 25 points. And what I say, this is their game 7. They didn't want to go. They don't want to go back to Utah. Yeah. So they made it a point of emphasis that, okay, we're down 25. We just saw a team come back down for 26. Mm-hmm. So why not? And Terrence Mann, he was spectacular. He was so spectacular in this game. Just spectacular. Most of his points came off a catch and shoot, wide open threes. Also got some transition buckets as well. Finishing in the lane, getting some easy layups. It wasn't anything too complicated. It wasn't step back threes. It wasn't dribbling, then driving. It wasn't post up fadeaways. It was just easy buckets for him. Yeah. Because Rudy Gobert was a liability. because they switched that game plan. And it was whatever offense on him. You gotta have an open three. Just pull. He's gonna be too far.
Yeah.
And even though the Jazz tried, they kept fighting. Reggie Jackson, how big time. Like I said in game 5, how great has he been for the Clippers this entire playoff run for them? Not just this game, this entire playoff run.
Jungle Beats, holla at me.
He has been playing spectacular. He is reminding me of when he first came up to the scene, when I first heard of him, when he played for OKC.
Yeah.
When he was a backup point guard for Russell Westbrook. Then he played big minutes for them. He's reminding me of that time.
Yeah. They're not fond of each other, so don't bring that up around Reggie or Westbrook. So, yeah.
But nonetheless, Reggie Jackson was absolutely great. He was playmaking. Tyronn Lue clearly trusted him with the ball. A lot of his assists a lot of Terrence Mann's points came off his assists. And also he hit big shot after big shot after big shot down the stretch. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, he had 2 big layups right on Rudy Gobert. Defensive Player of the Year, right on you. Right on you. There wasn't no 3. It was charged right at you and had 2 big layups. Yeah. I mean, how spectacular has Reggie Jackson been? Who also spectacular in this game? Patrick Beverley.
My pops.
Big threes late.
Yeah.
Big threes. Crushing the Jazz hopes of trying to get back to this game. Crushing them.
Let's just be honest. Yo, whenever I see Patrick Beverley play, what the things he do, especially when he got big leads, when he comes up big, I be just laughing because the way he be looking right after, like the things that he be doing, the way he be looking, it be so funny to me. Like his celebrations, like the moment he hit a 3. I be like, wait, what? What is he doing? He's so funny.
No.
But yeah, he was just bugging out. He was bugging out for sure.
Also, Nick Batum was spectacular, offensively and defensively. Got some good points down the stretch. Got to hit a big 3 down the stretch. It was great defensively. He deserves a shout out.
Well, yeah, of course. When you move from Charlotte to LA, then of course you get that.
I don't know what that has to do with the situation, but sure. And of course, can I mention all those names, all those players without star player on this team? No Kawhi Leonard. And in back-to-back games, he has stepped up. And he was big time in this second half. I don't want to hear a damn thing about no playoff P, way off P, pandemic P. I don't want to hear a goddamn thing anymore. That's it.
So he's a superstar now.
He's a star. I tell you one thing, though, he's not. He's not an average player. He's not a scrub. He's not no bum.
So wait, tell me, what does he have to do to become a superstar now?
Well, currently he's a superstar because Kawhi's not there.
Hey man, let me tell you something. I had the Jazz winning this series, and I stuck by them till the end. But hey, yeah, whoever disrespected PG saying that he was just a star, y'all owe him a long, really long letter of an apology.
What is wrong with being a star? A star is a star. A star, you get the ball down the stretch. You have great moments. You can make big plays. You can have amazing scoring displays. Is Paul George Kevin Durant? Is Paul George Giannis? Is Paul George LeBron? Is Paul George Damian Lillard? Is Paul George Stephen Curry? I'm not trying to bring them down, but those are superstars that I just named.
And PG hasn't done what they did before?
Yeah, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Stop. I'm not trying to bring him down. This is not a time to bring him down. but you trying to force that superstar in. I'm not there yet.
Okay, his superstar dimmed when he joined the Clippers. I'll give him that.
That's what I've been saying. Nonetheless, because it's not a time to bring down Paul George. He was spectacular last night.
Yeah.
Did he have like 40? Did he 50? No. Did he struggle in the first half a little bit? Yes. But you want to desperately talk about superstar. But what do superstars do? Come up big when you need them. When they're not scoring the ball, they do other things to help their team. He played great defensively, got steals. He helped Terrence Mann. He get him the ball. He helped set up teammates, along with scoring down the stretch.
Yep.
So if you do want to make that superstar case, that is what superstars do.
He did everything.
Paul George was amazing. He deserves so much credit. Without no Kawhi Leonard, without their best player, he stepped up in back-to-back games, and he's played great. He's played great for the exception of the first 2 games in which the Jazz were up. He's played phenomenal.
Yeah.
Ever since. So I don't want to hear no Paul George slander. I don't want to hear a damn thing. All you casuals, shut up. All y'all haters, shut up. He's not He's a top 20 player in this league. Top 15 player in this league. All right? I don't want to hear any of that.
Yeah.
Criticize him when he's playing bad, that's fine. I'll bring him back up when he's playing great. That's all that I ask for. And he deserves that.
Can I say it better?
What?
I said I couldn't have said it better.
Yep. And with all of that, with the contributions of Paul George, Nick Batum, Reggie Jackson, Patrick Beverley, and Terrence Mann stepping up big time with 39 big points, getting the starting spot, stepping up, filling that role in Kawhi Leonard's absence. I know, filling the role of Kawhi Leonard. And he had 39 points. What else can you ask for? In a must-win game for them, when I believe, in a chance to finally get some luck on this franchise's side for 50 years. 50 years. And coming back down 25 points. The Los Angeles Clippers, for the first time in their franchise's history, are going to the Western Conference Finals. I can't believe I said it. And it's a wonderful feeling. I'm happy for everybody on that team. I'm happy for the franchise. I know Clippers fans. I know they suffered through a lot. I mean, y'all Clippers fans, and it's LA. So yeah, y'all clearly suffered through a lot. So I mean, I'm proud. I'm proud. I'm happy.
Look, all I gotta say is they did sign that Elton Brand, Lamar Odom, Quentin Richardson, Chris Paul,
Blake
Doc
Griffin.
Rivers, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, Bob McAdoo. Again, Buffalo's still
Kawhi
open.
Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, Kawhi Leonard a little bit. Kawhi Leonard a little bit.
A little bit.
They did something that all of those guys couldn't do. All of those guys could not do. Danny Manning. Ron Harper.
Yep.
Mark Jackson. They did things that none of those guys in the history of the game, of the Clippers franchise, couldn't do. But hey, once again, Buffalo is still open.
There's no more Buffalo. Western Conference Finals bound. Screw Buffalo. We run LA. LA our way. I fuck with it. LA our way.
Hey, no Kawhi, Buffalo's their way.
Hey, no Kawhi, no problem to me. It's what I've seen. because we got a man.
What a man, what a man, what a man, what a
Oh
man.
man. But got all out the way with the Clippers. Let's talk about the Utah Jazz. Number 1 seed. Best record in the league. Best chance to get to the finals. You have an all-star, a superstar, Donovan Mitchell. You have a defensive player of the year. You have a 6-man of the year. You have a head coach of the year candidate. You have a great bench. You have we said it, the most complete team. And you lose twice. The other team doesn't have their superstar. You lose at home because you live by 3, you die by 3. And you lose on the road when you're up 25 in a playoff game in a must-win, win or go home situation. Not along with being up 2-0 in this series. I mean,
It hurts me, man. It hurts me because I have faith in this team. I had this team winning it, surpassing. Well, I had the Clippers first, then I flip-flopped. But I had faith. I thought this was their time. I thought this was their year. I thought this was okay. I probably didn't say that this was their year, but this was their opportunity to get to that finals.
Mm-hmm.
After always being viewed as a dark horse in recent years, and things like this in history, I guess, happens. But they let me down, and it hurts. It hurts. It's tough. You know what I mean? And the reason why I say things like this happen in history because we have seen it occur so many times in which we thought that teams that should have went deep did not go far. Again, the team that they just lost to last season.
Mm-hmm. And it's true.
And it's just like, it hurts, but as much as I want to get on them about this game, I cannot hate about the rest of the things that they did up until this game, up until last game.
Well, I can get on them because you can't be up 25 points in a playoff game and lose the game. You cannot have a role player score 39 points on you. I'm sorry. I know you don't game plan for role players. That's why sometimes they come out of nowhere and drop 20, 25. They don't drop 39.
Unless if you're Lou Williams, then yeah.
Well, that's a special type of role player. And for this loss, I'm going to blame this loss on Quinn Snyder. Because in the midst of that run, they were targeting Gobert. I'm not going to blame Gobert because all year it's been that. You protect the paint. Whoever comes, you help defense. You don't worry about the 3. How am I going to blame him on that? I'm going to blame this on coaching. I know it's risky. He's the defensive player of the year. He's one of your key players. In this situation, adjustments matter, and the adjustment that you need to make is take him out the game. In my opinion, he was a liability. He was helping, which you've been telling him to do all year, which he's been doing all year, and he's been too slow to get back to the 3.
Yeah.
The help defense was weak. Nobody rotated to his man, so his man was always wide open. Yeah, man was always wide open. So you have to make the adjustment. Adjustments are one of the arguably the most important thing about the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because I understand heading to the game, you didn't game plan for Terrence Mann. You didn't game plan for them to exploit Rudy Gobert like this. They went small and killed you. So you matched that.
Yeah.
This wasn't working. Why was Rudy Gobert in the game for this long? I don't understand. He played 42 minutes. He was killing you. They were getting back to the game. In the midst of that run, you have to make that adjustment.
Yeah, I look at things like that, right? Like, it's just like, I look at things like that and I say this, right? It always worked for you all year, and then there's just that one moment where things just go haywire and just malfunctions, right? You know what I mean? Just like what you always say, he's the defensive player of the year. He always helped out in the paint. Whenever somebody attacks, he's always disciplined enough to try his best to help out and defend the shot or alter it from being a good layup in the paint or dunk or whatsoever. But and this is the tough thing about being in the playoffs. In the playoffs, you gotta make adjustments that are sacrificial. And those adjustments are sometimes adjustments that you never ever had to make before. That
I
you
point.
never, that you never ever had to make before. Like taking Rudy Gobert out the game because he's a defensive liability in terms of being in the paint. Like that's you would never hear that ever, ever. But sometimes things in the playoffs, things happen differently and things go wrong at the wrong moment. Rudy Gobert looked like a defensive liability. And let's add on to the fact that they missed free throws a little bit too. They did miss free throws, especially the one who was really hot, Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell hit was going. Don't get me wrong, it's good to hit at least one, but in moments like this, you're gonna need both of them. You're gonna need both of them. And he missed a couple of them. He went 1 of 2, like for a good point in that fourth. But I guess Quinn Snyder, he didn't want to take the risk, but it's just like you got to take the risk. You have to.
It's like he didn't want to make any adjustment in that point. You have to try something. You are fighting for a championship. You're fighting for your season. This is your season right now.
Yeah.
You're the number 1 seed. You have home court all throughout. You have to try something.
Yep.
At the start of that fourth quarter, Rudy Gobert shouldn't have been in that game, I think.
Yeah.
All right, and they continue to exploit him. It was just over and over and over again. And that's just defensively. Offensively, live by a 3, die by a 3. And they have died twice in the second half. Twice now. At some point, you have to make that adjustment too. Because when the Clippers were making their run, Jazz just kept chucking up threes.
Yeah.
And they went cold. At some point, you have to make that adjustment. How many shooting teams have we won a championship? Maybe you were right about the Warriors ruining everything about that.
Yep. Because they're the only one.
Because the Jazz, yes, you're a great 3-point shooting team, and when you have it going, we saw you have it going. You had it going in that first half.
Yeah.
But at some point, you have to be like, okay, it's Plan B now. It's not falling right now. Let's get some ball movement going. Let's go inside. And it wasn't even like these weren't open threes. These were contested. These were guys right on them. These were guys a hand away. You know, if it was open, I'll be like, damn, they just missed wide open threes. Something that they haven't done all year. But they weren't wide open.
They were contested, yeah.
Contested or a hand in the face. Like, well, a hand in the face is contested. But adjustments. Playoffs are about adjustments. Quinn Snyder didn't make those adjustments in these key situations. Not offensively and definitely not defensively. That's why he gets the blame for me from this loss. He gets the blame for me for loss. If you tried to make that adjustment and it didn't work, then I couldn't be able to blame you. But I don't know why it wouldn't have worked. He was up 25.
Yeah.
So I was really disappointed. Happy for the Clippers, but really disappointed in this Jazz team. The way they went out. The best record in the league. So talented on all sides of the ball. Every which way you look. And yet they lose in this manner, this way. I know it's gotta hurt. No, it's got to hurt someone like Donovan Mitchell, who balled out majority of this series. Balled out in this game, had 39. I know this got to hurt for him. Back-to-back heartbreaking losses in the playoffs. Last year, blowing a 3-1 lead to Denver. This year, up 2-0 against the Clippers. Up 25 in Game 6. And they have no superstar in Kawhi Leonard. And then you lose. Also losing on your home floor in Game 5. This got to hurt.
Yeah, man, it really, and they ruined the opportunity to send it back home, which they could have had momentum and potentially won the series. So it's tough, but I don't know if they're going to be in the same position that they were in this season.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, even if they don't get that top seed, they're still going to be in the playoffs. They're still going to be one of the most complete teams because that system is working well. It just went wrong in these last 3 games. Stick with it. Stick to it. Don't make no changes, please. Unless if it's a good change or an addition, please do not mess this. Don't touch anything. Just go with it. But they just have to run it back next season. Run it back.
I think I have a championship caliber team. Just a little more tweaks, just a few more tweaks. Less living and dying by the free. Maybe the Clippers might have exposed their defense. We'll see how that plays out next year.
Yeah.
But man, it hurts. But see you next year, Utah. See you next year. Number 1 seed, amazing regular season, chance to aspirations, but to no avail. As the Clippers eliminate the Utah Jazz, the number 1 seed in the second round in Game 6, Clippers, like I said, advanced to the Western Conference Finals for the first time in their franchise's history. That is exciting. That is exciting. I know you upset.
No, I'm not.
Let's go, Clippers!
I say this. I'm not. Even though I went to Jazz to win and I gave the Clippers not really much of a chance. I'm not. I'm not upset at. I'm not upset at that.
Annoyed?
Yeah, I'm annoyed because once again, my playoff bracket is messed up. But I'm not upset. I'm not upset. I'm not upset. I'm shocked. I'm actually shocked. Just like you. I'm not shocked.
I'm shocked. I was shocked. I was shocked watching that entire game.
Oh, shocked that they got some success for the first time in a really long time. Oh, hell yeah! But in terms of them winning this game, I'm not shocked. It's just I'm more just upset at the Jazz. I'm just upset at the Jazz.
You seem like a parent. But yes. Hey. What?
Hey man, all I gotta say is, man, just go on. Sorry. Go on.
All you gotta say is, man, yeah, I understand. Clippers will meet the Phoenix Suns in the Western Conference Finals. Will Chris Paul play in time? Keep you updated on that. It sure looks like to be a fun series. But nonetheless, there was another game that happened last night. Game 6, and a winner go home for another number 1 seed, this time in the Eastern Conference. Philadelphia 76ers. And thankfully for them, there will be a Game 7. That is right. The Philadelphia 76ers took care of business in the ATL, getting their win back after that embarrassing home loss after being up 26. Don't worry, the Jazz already took that place right now. But yeah, and how did they do it, John? How did they do it?
Well, let's be honest. It was a close ball game in the beginning. Atlanta got hot.
Yes.
In that second quarter, they got hot. But then I'll tell you what happened. Defense in the three ball for Philly happened, and Steph Curry got hot in that third quarter. But I'm going to keep this
I'm
short,
sorry,
sweet, and
who?
simple. Steph Curry.
Oh, I thought
Not,
they said some other guy.
not Stephen. Not
Yeah,
Stephen. He's out. He
yeah.
was nowhere near
The best Curry in the playoffs right now. Yep.
Yeah, the best Curry in the playoffs right now. He did that. I believe he had like 19. Like he had
24.
19. Well, I don't remember. Yeah, he had 24, but majority of his points came in that third quarter. He was lighting up in that third quarter.
Yeah, he was hot.
And yeah, and Philly started to build up momentum. They eventually took the lead from the Hawks and eventually went on with it. But again, one thing about this Hawks team, they fighting. And they made it into a ball game down the stretch. Like, Trae Young, big shot. John Collins, ferocious dunk over Embiid. Like, Capella catching everything, contesting everything. Like, they were sticking into it. But and it became a dogfight, but Philly was able to hold on due to discipline, good execution, and just stay with it and making the right reason, the right shots. And so not relying on the three like they were a little bit though too. They did go into the paint.
Yes, and also you mentioned defense. Yeah, Atlanta. In that fourth quarter, there was on like 87.
Yeah.
It was on like 87 for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
They could not buy a bucket. I mean, from deep they were cold.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't really do nothing. Find when Philly's defense when they're at their best is really strong. I mean, Trae Young still gets his because he's just been magnificent this postseason. But their defense on him has been great. He's just really good. He's really good. We mentioned Luka, he's 22. Trae Young's 22 in his first playoff run, and look what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
He's been spectacular. But I mean, the other guys for this Hawks team, John Collins didn't have the same impact that he's had in recent games. Bogdanovich has really been struggling in the past few games.
Yeah.
And also we found out later that he got hurt, a knee soreness, and he didn't play the rest of the game. We'll see his stats on Game 7. That will be a big loss for Game 7. But not if he's continuing playing the way he's playing, though. I'll tell you that much. If he comes back in Game 7, he's really been struggling. But Philly, they were down in that first half. So they were lucky to be down only 4 in that first half because the Hawks should have really been up by like 10 to 15.
Yeah.
They were down by 4, and in that third quarter, Steph Curry has been amazing for Philly in this series. Amazing. I mean, he's been consistent. He's been a 3-point marksman.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing like, Curry. So, also Tobias Harris, way to bounce back from that Game 5 performance, which was not really much of a performance. This game, much better.
Yeah.
Got to his spots, was in rhythm, hit his shots late. And you see how skilled he is. That's why I get upset with him when he has those bad performances. Because he's very skilled. He's a great shot creator. He's the second best shot creator they have on that team.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, he's the only other shot creator they have on that team, really.
Yeah, no question.
But
outside of Shake, you can say a little bit of Shake.
Shake and another person I'll mention in a minute. But Embiid, they made it tough for him. They made the Hawks, they made it tough for him.
Yeah, like they should have, because he goes off, it's over.
And yep. Well, he couldn't have the same impact as he did last game, but he was still able to get some points. Wasn't that efficient, but still have 22 and 13, and it wasn't as bad a performance in Game 4. So that's good for him. But player of the game for me wasn't Tobias Harris, wasn't Seth Curry, wasn't M.B, wasn't Ben Simmons, who struggled again. Got in foul trouble very early. Nonetheless, I'm just done. I'm just done with it. Someone who stepped up because Ben Simmons was struggling was rookie Tyrese Max, my player of the game. He stepped up big time for them. Big time. He was one of the main catalysts of that run as well. Also, when they were down, he was hitting big shots. When Ben Simmons was in foul trouble, sitting on the bench because he got in foul trouble, Tyrese Maxey was there. He was leading them back into this game. He had let them back to the game in that first half. He was tremendous. He was tremendous. Also in that fourth quarter, tremendous. Hitting big the free throws down the stretch as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, he was spectacular. I mean, didn't look phased at all. Rookie, biggest game of his career. Almost like Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann had 39. But yeah, Tyrese Maxey, he deserves so much credit for the way he played in Game 6.
Well, let's keep this short, sweet, and simple here. Yes, Philly won, but Philly should have been one. Philly should have been 1 in 5.
Yes.
And now, since they bought themselves this deep, I'm going to equalize my faith in both them and the Hawks. They better get this window.
Yep.
Because I will never look at that team again. I swear I will shame them. I will violate them. I'll be like, you got no right to step into the house of Julius Erving, Dr. J, Allen Iverson, Charles Barkley, Wilt Chamberlain, Billy Cunningham. You have no right to step into that house at all, any of those greats, after what you have done for these past 3 to 4 years.
Yep, I agree. And I will have something to say about their head coach. But for now, wait and see. Because there will be a Game 7 in Philly, back home, as the Sixers get the job done, save their season, and go back to Philly to face Atlanta in one final showdown in this series.
Yeah.
Will they get it done unlike one team? We'll see. We will see. All right. Before we get into predictions, wow, some news that I just woke up to. Woke up, saw my phone, and it was announced. Well, I guess we find out what Brad Stevens really felt. Because the Celtics, in their first big move, Brad Stevens' first big move, trade Kemba Walker to OKC for Kemba Walker, a number 16 first round pick, and a 2025 second rounder for Al Horford, who's going back to Boston, Moses Brown, and a 2023 second round pick. So who won this trade, y'all?
I don't even know, to be honest. But it leaves more to OKC side, because I know he's been dealing with it, but Kemba's still a star, regardless. He's still a star. I know he had his downs this year, but he's still a star. He's continued to prove that he was a star at certain points in the season. And let's be honest, like, no disrespect to Al Horford. I know he's a productive player and that he was once a star in this league himself, but he ain't no Kemba. Moses Brown is a really good talent. I've seen him play before. And you better make use of those draft picks too, because that's one of the many draft picks that the Thunder have traded away.
Man, speaking of the draft picks, Thunder, Sam Presti, I don't know I don't. It's every time a trade goes through with the Thunder, I just laugh. Like it is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. They get another first round draft pick. They have 19 in the next 7 years. 19.
That's crazy. They better make use of that.
He's playing NBA. He's playing my GM. Sam Presti's playing my GM. It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous how many just draft picks that he is able to acquire.
Mm-hmm.
But I should have asked you though, how do you feel about the Celtics trading Kemba Walker? How do you feel about that situation?
It had to be something personal, something deep. I don't think it was just basketball relation.
I think it was some basketball.
I know Kemba did want to part ways and stuff like that, but man, to OKC of all places. Hey, the only good thing I can look at is him and Shaw in the backcourt.
Yeah.
But the only bad thing I can look at is the fact that OKC's not going to really keep him. But hey, we said the same thing about Chris Paul, and we've seen what happened.
Yeah, trade Kemba for another first round pick. Oh my god! But yeah, Kemba. I think it was basketball. You saw a lot of times that, yeah, when he does score, when he is aggressive, or when he does hit his shots, the Celtics win. But he was too inconsistent. Sometimes he was too passive, and that was some of the problems with the Celtics. And maybe they want to rely on more of the bucket getters of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and instead of another bucket getter, they say, how about we just rely on veteran leadership, rebounding, and defense, and also inside scoring. And that's what Al Horford brings you.
Yeah. Okay, I can understand that. But let's go back to Kemba a little bit. Well, if OKC decides to not keep him, I'm going to suggest a place where he should go to.
Where's
that? The Lord and Behold, the beautiful purple and gold of the West Coast that's been gracing the eyes of many people with their dynasty for over 60 years. He should go join the LA Lakers. Just think about it. Him, Braun, AD, they need better scoring. Well, I'm not disrespecting Schroeder now.
It's not disrespecting Schroeder. With all due respect, Schroeder, you are not Kemba Walker.
Exactly. And that is my point. No disrespect to Schroeder and his game, but you're not a Kemba Walker. I feel like even there, because Kemba's 30, 31.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, in this today's day and age, longevity is going to be things. So he's not going to be retiring anytime soon. But the window in terms of having some type of greater success that he was searching for is quickly closing. So he needs to be in an environment in which he needs to win now. And I feel like going to the Lakers will be perfect.
I can see that. That's not bad. That's not bad. Why would you want that? Just for LeBron and Lakers fans to hate on him? If you're gonna go to Lakers, he can't be inconsistent.
Yeah,
he can't be. He needs to know when to be aggressive, when not to be aggressive.
Well, I can't think of any other team for him to go to.
Nah, I mean I can't really either. Off the top of my head, nah. The Lakers, that was a good destination though.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's the trade. OKC gets Al Horford. OKC gets Kemba Walker and another first round pick. And the Celtics get Al Horford back after letting him go to Philly.
Yeah.
Let's not remember that season, Philly. All right. I don't think there is any other news. Am I correct, right?
No, there was no other news.
All right. So let's get into Game 7 in the Barclays Center. Tonight, TNT 8:30. It is win or go home for these Nets and the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks go to the Barclays Center in Game 7, looking upset. It's Brooklyn Nets. Kevin Durant, James Harden, and unfortunately for the Nets, Kyrie Irving will not play.
Well, they said the same thing about Harden, and in the same day they changed up their minds. But hey, let's see. But
Harden willed himself. That's why. Harden said not. I'm playing. I'm playing on one leg. Well, Giannis does run and jump. It's not like I got Harden anything.
Post fadeaway. That's all I gotta say. But I'm going to stick with my bracket because I obviously did have this going to a Game 7, and you know who I chose winning it all, especially in that Game 7. And that is Brooklyn, baby. We about to celebrate tonight. We about to celebrate tonight. Meadowlands, we driving up there to you. Just know that. Just know that.
Said no one ever. But yes, I got the Nets as well. Game 7 in the Barclays Center. Every home team has won in this series, and I think it's gonna stay like that. Kevin Durant, Massa. Other guys really need to step up though. Other guys really need to step up. I need to stretch that. They have Jeff Green in Game 5. It needs to be somebody else or just the rest of the team. Joe Harris, you gotta play better. Gotta play better.
I want as of right now, the best player more. I want him, the best player in the world as of right now. I want him to have that mentality of that he did whenever he said this. He gave you that look like I'm Kevin Durant. You know who I am. You know who I am. That's the mentality that he got to have in this Game 7. I'm Kevin Durant. You know who I am. You know who I am.
I agree. And as for the Bucks, please, Mike, this is your coaching job. This is your coaching job. This is your coaching job. Say it again. Please have Brook Lopez in the low post. Have Giannis in the low post. Giannis, know what turnaround fadeaway, for God's sakes. Don't take a jump shot on Landry Shaman. Keep doing what you're doing for the most part in Game 3. In Game 6. Dominate.
Yeah.
Dominate. You have to. What you said about Kevin Durant, Giannis has to do that. He has to take the game by force. He has to be that.
Whoa. Don't tell him take the game by force. He might start going reckless and get charged up and out the game.
True. That's right. Middleton, need you there as well. Need you to be that shot creator to hit your shots. If all ends bad one-on-one and they need you need to step up. Holiday, you need to play better. Don't settle. Attack the basket. Be a playmaker. Use your IQ. One of the smartest players in the league. You know, I need these guys. Bryn, where have you been since Miami? You know, I know Dante's not there. You wanted you for a long role, but gotta be consistent, man.
Hey, somebody got to tell somebody to fake that the Jimmy Butler and put on the jersey for him to get hot.
Yo.
I'm just saying.
You hate Jimmy.
I don't hate Jimmy. I'm just saying he got hot when he saw Jimmy's face.
But yeah, big Game 7, as every Game 7 is. Best 2 words in sports. Game 7. This is what we're here for. This is what we're here for. 2 championship contenders in the second round. 1 will go home.
Yeah.
Find out tonight. All right, Jock. Time to wrap things up. Final thoughts.
I really wish Chris Paul was playing because this one been a kind of great matchup. Obviously, knowing the history, knowing the history between him and the franchise that has made this is a match made in heaven. It's no Doc Rivers, but hey,
Yeah.
still against his old team, you know. But you know what matchup will be on display? Booker versus PG.
Yep. I was thinking about that earlier too. Yep. It's gonna be Paul George versus PG.
Yep. And you know they got a little small kind of history, not crazy anything crazy, but you know
Yeah. Who's better, you think?
who's better.
Yep.
Devin Booker's looking like Kobe day by day, but I feel like PG's still more skilled than him in certain areas. Obviously, Booker's the better shooter. Booker is most definitely.
Sorry, I cut you off. There's only one right. There's only one right answer. It's Paul George.
Yes.
With all
No.
due respect, Devin Booker. It's Paul George.
Yeah. He's getting close though. He's getting
Oh
close.
yeah, he's not far. He's not far.
He's getting close, but yes, it's Paul George. But I feel like in terms of the mental game, I feel like Devin Booker has a little bit of that edge in him. Devin Booker never gets
Yeah, that's true.
Wow, PG, ever since he has put on the Clippers uniform, that's when his bad luck of mental game. Well, ever since Dame hit that shot on him, let's be honest. Ever since Dame hit that shot on him, his part of mental bad luck has come along and got worse from the Clippers trade.
Just said Joe Ingles too, but yeah, let's go with Dame.
Hey, we can say Joe Ingles, but we just seen what happened.
All right, that's true. Fine. He got his revenge. Yeah, bittersweet. That's fine. All right. Yeah, Dame. Okay, give it to Dame. But yeah, you know what'd be funny though?
Well,
Tyronn losing the Western Conference Final. Doc Rivers might not make it to the conference final. That would be fun. That would be funny. But hey, we'll see what happens. Game 7 tonight. Game 7 tomorrow as well. Also, Game 1 tomorrow. And say goodbye to the number 1 seed and the best record. And that man right there, Utah Jazz.
Yeah.
But all right, that all being said, thank you guys for watching today's podcast. Make sure to tune into tomorrow's podcast. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, support the channel, give us feedback, all that good stuff.
And also follow our IG and our TikTok down in the description below.
Yes. And once again, I'm Evan.
I'm Ja.
This is Mind of Basketball Podcast.
Conference Finals edition approaching.
Just said Game 7 edition.
And Game 7 edition.
Nah, there's no Conference Finals edition. It's just Playoff edition.
Playoff edition.
Bye. Bye.